Hey, Tacoma. Long time no live. Um, I don't know if you guys had kind of tuned in during my campaign. I used to go live sometimes just to kind of update folks on what was happening with my campaign and thoughts on things. So I thought, since this is the end of my first week in office, that I would um, get on here and let folks know kind of what happened this week and how I feel about it and all the things. So um, the stream is just going to be very informal. It's just me. Those who know me know that I'm a very unserious person until there's something to get serious about. So you might see a little bit of that come through. And this is not professionally done. This is not put on by the city. So you're going to see some technical difficulties too. That was kind of the reason why I haven't been on for a while, is because my old computer was not holding up to these new live technologies. So we got that problem fixed at least, and we're back. So I did want to read maybe a little bit of a disclaimer to start off, just to let people know what this is and what this isn't. So this live reflects my personal opinions only. It's nothing that I say should be considered an official statement or position of the City of Tacoma or the Tacoma City Council as a whole, as a body. So starting it off, we won a little thing called the Tacoma City Council, a seat on the Tacoma City Council, position 6. And this week was my swearing in. For those who made it to the swearing in person or online, thank you so much. There were so many other people who followed up and were like, I didn't make it, but I heard great things, and I still felt the support. So we can start it off by, for those who didn't make it, I wanted to show you kind of a special moment that happened. Let me see we'll see if this works.
Councilmember Palmer to be sworn in by her daughter, Nayeli Vasquez.
So, hi, Mom.
Hi, baby.
So, it's like really nice to see you have like a lot of intelligence and just to see you grow, because a lot of people with that intelligence don't actually grow as much as you can. And just like as a city council member is just the start, because you can grow many more and like you can achieve way much more that you can. This is just the start.
Thank you, baby.
Oh my gosh. And then we went on to do the swearing in, but I did not pay her to say any of those things. I was not expecting her to say anything. So I think that's a moment that really stuck with folks and really stuck with me. She got to me, it's this an example of how powerful the words of our youth can be, and how we should empower them to be able to be involved in these processes. So with that, I guess I wanted to move on to share my opening remarks as to what I'm hoping to accomplish in this role, and the role that I see community play in this role. So we'll go to that next.
Council members, for such a warm welcome. We've known each other for a little bit now, but it's been great, and you guys have been so helpful. Today was a lot. It was my first day here, and so I really appreciate all the help. I wanted to thank my campaign team. We have Sherry and Jonathan here, and my campaign aunties, my family, my sister Tanisha, my brother Devin, helping me out with my kiddos, Nayeli, thanks for almost making me cry. Aries, Avea, I love you. I want to thank Tacoma. I feel so supported, and I want, everyone should know that this is, position 6 is a seat for everyone. And I hopefully, that's my job to make sure that you guys continue to feel that way. And let me know if I don't. So please hold me accountable. That's first off. And in that vein, I know some of you like to look back at some of the council meetings to see what we say. So I wanted to let you guys know and share my governing principles and what I plan to base my decisions on, so that if I stray from that, you guys say, hey, Latasha, what are you doing? Or sorry, Councilmember Palmer, what are you doing? Okay, so I believe our work should be measurable and transparent. I believe that we can ensure that every resident has dignity and the chance to feel safe and belong. This includes people having real opportunities to remain in and meaningfully participate in their communities, to share equitably in both the costs and benefits of growth, and to build and keep wealth in ways that strengthen community well-being and stability. I commit to seeking the most efficient and effective solutions, whether conventional or innovative, and to planning, investing, and problem solving together with residents, workers, and businesses, guided by a responsibility to future generations and the health of our environment. So again, I can't do this alone. Thank you all for the support, and hopefully you'll stick by me as I go through this experience. And let's change some things up, block by block.
So what kind of stuck out to me when I was up there and going through those remarks, when I said that community is behind me, I looked out into the crowd that was there. Some folks were there to support me, other folks I hadn't seen before, but it was powerful to me that some of the folks that I haven't had a chance to get to know yet, I saw them nodding along, and that really touched me, because it's like there's even more folks out there than I maybe realize that are rooting for my position and for me to be successful in this role in representing community. So thank you again for everyone that's supported me thus far, and for those that don't or aren't on the Councilmember Palmer bandwagon, I hope to win you over. So on that note, so the next thing, so on my very first meeting, I had a vote, and that kind of took me by surprise. Not surprise. I had a little bit of time to research and be filled in on, what this thing was. And so I guess I wanted to reiterate kind of why I voted yes on the public safety sales tax. And to start off, I will I'll play the video of my remarks before I voted that night.
City. So a number of council members have reached out to me with some questions about the tax. So I just wanted.
I meant community members when I said that, just FYI.
To take a second to address those questions. Our city manager and director of finance have also addressed the points, done a really good job about speaking to them, but I wanted to stress them for clarity. First, this legislation only authorizes a 0.1% sales tax. We are not deciding tonight how the city will use this new revenue or what services it will help fund. The state does require that we use the revenue for criminal justice purposes, but that does not mean that we are required to use this revenue only for our police force. The state has given us a broad definition of services that meet a criminal justice purpose. This list includes domestic violence services, diversion programs, reentry work for inmates, alternative responses programs, mental health, and other services. The second issue I wanted to clarify is that the state requires us to ensure that our police department participates in a variety of trainings to be eligible for this tax. These trainings include violence de-escalation techniques, mental health training, special trainings for trauma-informed, gender-based violence investigations. And I know that we've been working hard, or you guys have been working hard before I got here, to set high standards for our police department. And I'm very pleased that the state is tying this funding to these types of ongoing trainings for our police officers. And I think it's vital that we ensure our police department reduces harm and violence in our community. And I believe this legislation and the trainings that are required for eligibility will help us advance to that important goal. So I'm looking forward to discussing how we might use this revenue in the future, in the coming months. And I'm excited to hear from the community about what you want us to prioritize. Thank you.
So I guess I just wanted to reiterate, like I've seen some folks make comments and maybe have an understanding that this tax is like a police tax. And I wanted to just reiterate that it is a safety tax. So that could include, policing actions, but it includes a whole host of other things. And those are the things that community has been asking for, like alternative response and some more supports for some of our programs that support victims of crime and abuse, that sort of thing. So that is why I decided to vote yes, and fully recognizing that regressive taxes are not the ideal and not what we want to continue doing. And to that end, we're starting the conversation, like I mentioned, about what that sales tax could go toward. And I think a lot of folks on the council have different ideas of what that could go towards. I think the cool thing is that it could go toward multiple things. It doesn't just have to go towards one thing, because I believe it's estimating about $7 to $7.5 million in revenue to help us reach one of our goals. So my personal desire for the tax revenue is I don't think it should be a long-term thing, that we should be dependent on a sales tax in order to cover the costs of these programs or what we're wanting to do. So I'm hoping that our money can make money. I think that it should be that we can have a roadmap toward progressive revenue. And there's something I wanted to kind of point out as an interesting clause in the bill that would allow the funds to go toward, this is quoted from the bill, quote, local government programs that have a reasonable relationship to reducing the numbers of people interacting with the criminal justice system, including but not limited to reducing homelessness or improving behavioral health, unquote. So I think that kind of opens it up, and it says it may be possible to use, this is me, it may be possible to use some of the funds to support city staff's capacity to design or build or administer progressive fees and surtaxes to address harmful or exploitative practices that contribute to higher crime rates. So that is what I would love to, or I am starting to look into. So a couple examples would be like blighted buildings, and those things that are affecting the environment and we know contribute to higher levels of crime, and also things like wage pay gaps that we see. Our CEOs getting a lot of more funds, and when their workers are not getting enough to be able to support themselves, that those things lead directly into crime and people having to deal with the criminal justice system, right? And so I'm in the middle of researching some of these possibilities and with my policy expert, and so I invite all of you to share also what you would like to see. This is your money. What you want to see that sales tax applied to. So Egghole, I see you commenting. I'm not very good at keeping up on those yet. I'll try my best to answer your questions. Let me see. It says, on the matter of public safety, is there anything the council can do to prohibit police officers from publishing personal information and footage of people who have been jailed or otherwise had an encounter with the police on social media or other public channels? I do not have a good answer for you right now, but I can look into that and then maybe provide Pierce County Sheriff. Oh, that's a whole nother topic, right? Yeah, we could definitely start to get into that. I'm going to note the questions that are here and try and figure out a way to get those answered and get answers back to you guys. So, um, all right. So moving on a little bit. So what I learned this week. I learned that PDA sucks. No, and I'm not talking about public displays of affection. Those can be great. I'm talking about the Public Disclosure Act. For those who are unfamiliar, it's basically which there's great aspects of it, right? Like the intent of the act was to make sure that government and electeds, the things that we do um, are public. Like we're not in the back room, making deals or talking about things that are important for you guys to weigh in on and know about. What it kind of has done in some circumstances is it's made it pretty difficult for your representatives to collab with each other when we're trying to like figure something out. Like for instance, we were talking about some of the stuff that happened in the local news and just trying to get a feel for like where everyone was at on it. And I can't just like go into like a group chat or something and ask my council colleagues, hey, how do you feel about this? What can we do about this? I have to basically go like one by one. And I think I can only reach out to like 4 of them unless it's because we can't reach quorum. So there's some stuff to like work around. So it was kind of a reality check for me this week about this is definitely a contribution to the snail's pace that a lot of things happen in government. So nothing to say as far as like something to do about that. I just wanted to to let you guys know that has been a pain and will probably continue to be a pain. So I'm wondering, I guess in the future, hey, can we add more nuance to this to this bill or this act and make it so that those things that we need to check in on, we're able to check in on so we can move things along. The other thing that was new to me this week is we got settled into our city committees and commissions. For those that don't know, the city has, I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but we have a couple of commissions that city council members join into. And I think most of us are on like 2 of these. And we consider a lot of what you see at the council meetings of the whole in committees first. And so there's different committees for different topics. And I am a part of the Building Resilience Against Youth Violence and Exploitation Executive Steering Committee. I'm also a part of the Community Vitality and Safety Committee and the Economic Development Committee. And then so those are internal to the City of Washington, City of Tacoma. And then in addition to that, I represent Tacoma on regional boards, and that I'm a part of Joint Municipal Action Committee, the Pierce County Regional Council, and Urban Waters Board of Directors. So you guys can join me in my journey of getting up to date on what these committees have been up to and how we would like to contribute to the conversation that's happening in these committees. And I encourage you to look on the Tacoma website, the City of Tacoma website, to see, just educate yourselves too on like what these committees do, what they don't do, what goes through committee first before it goes to the council of the whole, because that's often the time, and they allow public comment. So that's often the first time for you to weigh in on some of these subjects that we talk about at council meetings. Okay, so on to the next thing that happened this week. As we all know, Tacoma does not exist in a bubble. So we have the things that are happening here that we have to pay attention to. But, we see what's happening on both the state level, on the federal level, and all those things affect us as well, right? We had our executive basically attack Venezuela this recently, and without any kind of authorization, and we all feel some type of way about that, right? And so I did make a video on that earlier that should be on my Facebook page, and then I'm also on TikTok as Tacoma Tea with LP. So you can see that video there. So I was hoping to provide just some kind of, hey, this is what we can do about this now, because oftentimes these moments we feel pretty helpless, right? And it's like, how is this going to change? Will this ever change? Will anything I do have anything to do with this? And the biggest takeaway, I guess, from that video, if you don't have time to watch it, is, your local representatives, your state representatives can only do what we can do is basically speak up for you. We are your representatives. And so what we can do is take what you are asking and saying to our their state our Congress, congressional representatives. And because those are the folks that are going to have the impact on what's happening at the federal level. I cannot change anything at the federal level. I can only say what I would like to see changed and what you guys would like to see changed. So I've been encouraging folks to reach out to their congressional representative and let them know, hey, this is not okay, if that's where you stand, and let them know what actions you would like to see happening. The other thing, of course, that happened this week was the murder of Renee Good, and this is just one in a stream of murders that have happened at the hands of ICE. And again, that's one of the things where, yeah, it happened in Minneapolis, but it affects us here. We have ICE in our neighborhoods here in Tacoma, and so there's been lots of questions as to like, what now? And I've seen a lot of folks get together and do, protesting and that sort of thing. And I think that that's helpful, but it's also, okay, what else? And I feel like we're kind of in limbo right now because we're all trying to figure this out. This is very much new territory. And so I hope to still see folks speaking up and letting us know how you feel about what happened and what you would like to see done about it. In the meantime, many of my colleagues and I have signed a statement by Local Progress, and this was brought to me by Councilmember Diaz. So thank you for that. We're basically stating our solidarity with the people of Minneapolis and that nobody is above the law. The other thing to know is that the full council and I are working on releasing a joint statement soon, so stay tuned for that. Eagle says, I don't like that the federal government is intent on pillaging another nation's resources, but they don't listen to the law and they have no conscience. I hope that midterms can change things. And that's it, right? We have to stay hopeful and we have to stay engaged. If we don't, they win. They're going to continue to do what they're doing. And so thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, so stay tuned. More to come on those issues. Some things to keep on your radar for what's coming up. Upcoming council meetings. For those that aren't familiar with when those happen, they happen every Tuesday at 5 o'clock, and they happen in person. You can come in person to City Hall, which is down on Market Street downtown, or you can go online and you can get the Zoom link, and that's on the City of Tacoma's website as well. So you can listen in, and you can also submit public comment through that channel too, if you can't make it in person. I hope maybe in the future to have a little bit more about what's coming up on those council meetings, to just make you guys aware of what you could be listening to or hearing, and what you might want to chime into. So again, this is my first time doing this after the election, so trying to do a little bit of catch up and also get used to this, and hopefully they'll get better as we go along. Something else to pay attention to and keep in mind is our state legislative session is about to begin. I believe it's on January 12th. So there's a lot of bills on the state level that I'm sure go into a lot of your personal concerns. You can go and look on, let me find what the website is real quick. leg.wa.gov to look up what's happening and to see the schedule of when these bills are going before the committees to be heard. The cool thing too on that, and I believe this is a fairly recent change, is that you can go online to that website too and log how you feel about those different bills. You can do pro, con, you can sign up to testify. You don't even have to go in person, but you can like share your story and submit that on that website as well. So there's ways to get involved in what's happening at the state level too, because all of that stuff trickles down and it affects what's happening here in Tacoma. I hopefully can maybe get a list out of the bills that I'm interested in, so that folks can have an idea of the things that I am supporting. In the meantime, there's look for your local organizations that are involved in lobbying at the state level. There's ACLU has an interesting list of bills that they are supporting. Indivisible has an interesting list to check out. And Fuse was another one that I look toward to see, hey, what's out there, because it's not the most user-friendly website, and I'm hoping we can figure out a way to make that better. But for now, those are some places you can check out to get tuned into what's happening with this legislative session. And then lastly, what to expect from these lives in the future. I'm trying to figure out the best method in order to do this, to reach as many folks as possible. I'd love your feedback as to, was this helpful? Would you like to still see this happen? Is there a certain time, day that you think this would be best to happen? I would like to, some of my colleagues have already expressed interest in like doing these with me. And so I think that would be cool to have one or two folks, either council members or folks from throughout the community, leaders, on to discuss things further. So if there's any topics that you're interested in, would like to see certain people on, we could do that. I do know that the City of Tacoma has a shiny new podcast, not office, like space. And so I'm not quite sure if I'll keep doing this on like my personal account, or if that's something that we can move over to have the city broadcast more broadly through that avenue. So yeah, stay tuned. And I, again, hope this was helpful, and thank you for those who tuned in, and continue to, leave your comments if you have anything to say. And again, my email address is there as well for the city, lpalmer@cityoftacoma.org, if you wanted to reach me on any kind of city business. All right. Thanks so much. Talk soon.